Hi, if you have made it to this tiny corner of YouTube, welcome, I'm happy to have you here. My name is Andi, I'm a chaotic reader, and today I want to talk about all the books that I bought recently. Hope you enjoy. So recently Thalia had a sale with 4 books for the price of 3, so I picked up 4 that were sitting rather high on my TBR. I will start with the star of the show, which is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I kept seeing this book from the biggest booktubers like A Clockwork Reader and Carrie Can Read, but what actually made me purchase this was fan art. So I simply went and searched for some of the artworks in connection with this book, and it was an instant purchase afterwards. I haven't read the Gabrielle series from Stephanie Garber, and I was fully aware that it contains spoilers since Once Upon a Broken Heart takes place after the Gabrielle trilogy, but I'm actually one of those people that is not bothered by spoilers, so I still went ahead and picked it up. If you are thinking of picking it up without first reading the Gabrielle series, I think it can work as a standalone. I had no problems understanding the world at all. What can I tell you about this book? It is very much a fairy tale setting with dark elements. The focus of the plot is actually a deal between the main character Evangeline Fox and the Wicked Prince of Heartjacks, and of course the consequences, because nothing comes without a price. When I tell you I flew through this book, I finished it in like 2 or 3 days. Make sure to check out my April reading wrap-up for my detailed opinion on this. Spoiler for my opinion, I liked it so much that I immediately went and grabbed the second book in the series, which is The Ballad of Never After. I started it yesterday, I'm already like 130 pages in, and I have no idea where the plot is going. So kudos to Stephanie Garber for writing a story that captivates me so much. A side note, isn't it funny when the covers have recommendations from the authors? It got me thinking, is it the equivalent of like celebrity endorsements in the book world? I usually don't pay attention to these, but I'm curious if anyone does. So let me know in the comments below, is that a deciding factor for you if a favorite author of yours praises a book on the cover? Next, I picked up The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix Harrow, which was one of my TBRs from the ChatGPT recommendation video. I will put it in the eye above so you can check it out. It was a fun time. The blurb tells me a couple of things. The story begins in a mansion. It involves books and either time travel or teleporting, and there is love, adventure, and danger. All of these are things I like reading about, so I picked this up. Plus, the cover is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm excited to get into it. The third book from Thalia was The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi, which also has a gorgeous cover, I have to say. This is the author's adult fiction debut after her YA works, and people keep saying that the cover and title is kind of misleading because you're expecting sort of like a Gothic romance story, but what you actually get is a dark and twisted tale about a childhood friendship between the main character Indigo and her childhood best friend Azure, who disappeared. This is not a spoiler, it's literally there in the blurb. So let's see, it's a standalone story that is just below 300 pages, so that should encourage me to pick it up if I need a palate cleanser between all the high fantasy stories. The last book in the Thalia haul was Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I'm pretty sure I don't need to introduce you this book. It blew up through Book of the Month, and now it's available here in Europe in bookstores as well. I actually decided to pick it up a little bit later. I don't know why this is a thing, but every time something gets hyped up, I usually wait for it to calm down a little bit before I get into it. I feel like that helps me get into it with not too high expectations. I also love the cover of this. Basically, this entire haul is just gorgeous covers all around, but this one is truly unique with like the neon font and the holographic details. Based on the blurb, we follow Sadie and Sam, who build a video game together, but the main focus, I assume, will be on their relationship and I guess their connections to other people around them and how that develops over time. I've heard that it makes people cry, so that makes me a little bit scared to read it, but it sounds super intriguing and a little bit different from what I usually gravitate towards. So these were all the books that I picked up during the Thalia sale. I hope you enjoyed me rambling about them, and make sure to check out my April reading wrap-up because some of them will be featured and I guess some of them I will get to maybe in May or June. Thank you for spending time with me and see you in my next video. Bye!